Well, hello, my friends. I'm starting my Sunday inspiration a little bit different this week. I did not have any ideas for what I was going to create, but as I was watering my plant, a leaf fell off, and I thought, oh, what a beautiful pattern. I think I need to do a gel print of it. And so I did, and it sent me down the path, as always with gel printing, of all kinds of experiments. I had new stencils that I wanted to try. I had all kinds of things that I wanted to do, and I just needed to do them. And that is the point of today's video, is the act of play. And I'm going to answer my number one question that I get all the time about creating and finding ideas. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that coming up. But what I did was it started with the leaf, and it just continued from there because I did some fall colors because the weather's starting to change and it's wonderful outside and my mums are coming. And so I wanted to kind of follow that feeling and follow my curiosity through all of these different things. And it started with a leaf. And I want you to follow your curiosity. And I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. But I'm going to take an adventure and try all kinds of things with my gel plate. And some are going to be wonderful, and some are not. And we have to be willing to let go of the outcome to find our way to creativity, to find our way to ideas and inspiration and all kinds of things. We have to be willing to have things that don't work out. And we have to be willing to show up and follow our curiosity. Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. I'm Shawn Petite, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome new subscribers and all of you who have been here for a very, very long time. You all mean so very, very much to me. So today I am creating with some questions that I have been asked. I get them asked multiple times a week, so I'm doing today's video with that in mind. But before I get to that, let me tell you a couple things. Today starts, and it'll last for the week. Today starts the fall stencil sale. So all the stencils in the fall section are 15% off. And the coupon code is down below in the YouTube description box. So you can grab fall stuff and create, and this new stencils that I'm creating with today will also be included in that sale. So I had an idea, or have an idea, of kind of what I want to create, and I wanted something, a different type of stencil, and so I, as a stencil designer, if you are a stencil designer, you just create what you want. And so I have two new stencils, and they're all in different, available in all the different sizes, 5x8, 8x10, and 9x12. And I have never done a 9x12 before, but I wanted it specifically for this project. So we'll see how you like it, how I like it, but so far I'm loving it. The 9x12 anyway. So, okay, so stencil sale and new stencils. I think that's it that I needed to tell you. Okay, so today I get asked probably 2, 3, 4 times a week. How do I find my inspiration? How do I get ideas? How do I stay motivated? How do I continue to create week after week? And what I'm doing today is the reason why and how I find inspiration, I get ideas, I get inspiration. It helps me create new projects all the time, and that is the act of play. Showing up here, because when I turn the camera on, and you've already seen part of what I've done, when I turned the camera on, I had 0 ideas for what to do today. 0. I wasn't uninspired. I just wanted to do something fallish to kind of kick off the fall stencil sale. Plus, the season is changing and it's cool at night and all those kinds of things. Fall is my favorite season. And so I thought, well, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. What do I want to do? What colors do I want? And so I come here to the table. I show up. That is the #1 key to finding your inspiration, finding your joy, finding your voice, finding your style, all of those things. You have to show up. You have to show up, and you have to do something. And it doesn't have to be a lot. But once you start experimenting, using different things, making scratches and marks, or jelly printing's addicting anyway. Once you start and you see something you like, follow it. Follow that curiosity. Like, ooh, I like that. Wonder what that would look like in a different color. I wonder what that would look like if I printed it a different way. I wonder if I did it with my gel plate. I wonder if I use soft pastels. I wonder. That is the key. And if you look around, I have experiments everywhere. There is not a surface in this space that doesn't have something on it, paint on it, whatever, that isn't part of some question that I've asked myself, like, wonder what that would look like. I'm going to try. And some are fails and some are not. And the only way we will know is if we try. And so I want to encourage you today to try anything and everything. So I want to show you a couple things. So Here are the new stencils. This Rambling, it's Rambling, oh man, they're brand new and I still don't. Rambling Branches 1 and 2, very original. These are the 5x8s. These are the 8x10s. These are the 9x12s. And I love it, love it, love it, love it. So they're pretty abstract, which is kind of where I lean right now. But some of the patterns that I have gotten, oh my goodness. I used a couple of other stencils today in my experimenting. I have no idea at this point how this is going to go, what I will use. I do have my color theme, the fall colors, the kinds of dark teals and prism violet and raw sienna, burnt sienna, raw umber. Those are the colors that I will be using. And so this is a prime example. This little piece right here is a prime example of, hey, what if because I've been doing some jelly printing and I thought, I think that I would like to maybe, I'm starting to gather ideas now. I'm starting to maybe see how some of these things could possibly come together. And so I pulled out my 5x7 gel plate, and it was covered in paint. I just must have put it away and forgot about it. But then I thought, oh, well, I better clean it up. So I used my matte medium and cleaned up that paint on there, not completely, but look at that. But I wouldn't have gotten here if I hadn't said, hey, maybe I could do some actual like color blocking with my 5x7 gel plate and just follow the path of the question, like, well, what if I used teal instead of green? What if I did only part of the stencil and blocked out the other part? Follow those questions. Follow that curiosity. That is the only way that we discover, one, what we like, and two, we get ideas over and over and over. And it's like this soft pastel that I put on my gel plate. I had no idea how this, but I have done soft pastel on my gel plate before, and I love the look, and I wanted something soft. I didn't want it to be too bold. So I thought, well, I wonder if I did that, how would I get the stencil pattern? And so I scribbled that out on paper, which is, where is that sheet? It's in this pile of goodness over here. Scribbled it out on a piece of paper, and then just pushed it through my stencil. And look at how beautiful. Now, at this point with this, I have 1,000 ideas. And I can't wait to explore this. So you see what happens. It builds and builds and builds. As you just don't question whatever idea you have. Just do it. And if it doesn't work, what's the harm? And everyone says, well, I don't want to waste my material. This is never a waste, because how will we ever know how something is going to work? Even if you watch me do it, you have to actually physically do it to see how it responds. Do I need to wait a little longer before I pull up the paper? Do I need to press harder with the soft pastels? Do I need all those things? Only you can discover that. And so now I've got these wonderful sheets that I'm going to put matte medium over and use for backgrounds. Same with my brayer off paper. Look at how gorgeous that is, the colors. Oh my goodness. But these colors together, as I was doing them, I thought I'd never actually put all of these colors together, like the raw sienna, burnt sienna, teal, green, prism violet, like close like that. And now I'm kind of excited about that. So now I have more ideas. Do you see how it builds? It builds and builds and builds. Okay, so I have used multiple types of paper today. This is like newsprint paper. This is like the paper that we package the originals and stuff like that. So it's fairly thin. I have used my wet strength tissue paper, which I gotta say, guys, I love it. I absolutely love it. It has held up, and you see in the videos how some of the other doesn't. So this this roll, and I got this information from Mary Beth Shaw from one of her Wanderlust lessons. This is the roll that goes down on the exam tables when you go into the doctor. Which that's what she uses, and she said it was pretty strong, and I'm pretty sure it will go very transparent. However, it's not strong. I mean, it's stronger than tissue paper, I think, a little bit, but it's not like the wet strength tissue paper. And you'll see, because I did a couple of pulls and the paper tore. I mean, it just wouldn't hold up at all. And this is my wet strength tissue paper, and you see in the video that I could barely get this off. I had put the matte medium down and let it sit a little bit too long, and I thought, oh great, now I've just glued that to my gel plate. But my wet strength held up on all that intense pulling. That's what it's made for. So this is still a fun option, and I will still use it, but not for the places that I need to have that strength. And I could not wet this and manipulate it, I don't think. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't want to say no, but that'll be another experiment for another day. But I do like having the big sheets like this and just kind of filling them up. And the roll of it is kind of nice too. And this is super cheap. I have 6 rolls of this, and it cost me $39. So it's an option. It's an option. So this is my wet strength tissue paper, and you can see, so each one of these is an experiment. So this little grungy bit here was left over, and I thought, I'm going to try and pick that up with some matte medium. And I loved it. Loved it, loved it. But these are look at this one. Oh. That looks like some faded wall mural. And so I want to go back to this and do more of this. And I wouldn't have known any of that if I hadn't been there are no rules, just experiment. So this is my wet strength tissue paper, and I filled that one up. And how I'm going to use these, I really don't. And of course I'm not going to use them all, but I just went to town because I needed inspiration. I needed ideas. I needed to be curious to see where I'm going to go. And now I have some ideas. But I used these. This is all my wet strength tissue paper. This is copy paper. Like, look at how pretty that's the 5x8 stencil. And it's a little messy, so you could be real particular and get it really nice. This one, this is the exam table paper, and this was just a regular pull with matte medium, nothing too strenuous, and you can see how it tore. But even still, this is soft pastel with matte medium over it. Oh my gosh. And more experiments. And this, I started out, really honestly, where did it go? This is what started it all, was my plant. I was watering my plant, the leaf fell off, and the pattern in it was so amazing, and I thought, man, that would be so gorgeous. And if I did it in fall colors, that would be a great, great idea for a piece. And this is what started it. So from here to the next thing, I'm saying follow your curiosity. And so I did a couple of prints of that leaf. Look at how gorgeous that is. I did different colored backgrounds to see. And, you know, a lot of this is me experimenting with the stencils to see if it makes sense and a good option to sell and create with. And, of course, I loved it. And cleanup papers. I did use my fall leaves stencil for a couple, and it's the fall leaves, and it has masks as well. But those will also be on sale. But look at this one with the leaf, and just a bunch of this was. I also used. You've also seen me use my whisk broom to create marks, and I had some extra paint on my palette, and I thought, what if? And now I have some really cool ideas about creating some pattern with my broom, and I didn't go all down that rabbit hole yet. So thought, what if I did part of the stencil just for pattern? And I love this leaf print. Oh, I experimented with ink. I tried ink with the stencils to see what I could get. And love that. I just went to town experimenting, trying to, this one I had my stencil out and I brayered over it. I put the tissue paper on top of my stencil and I brayered over it with some olive green and got this. So I was like, now, and I want to try a soft pastel one too. And more experimenting with different colors and different things like that. Just really trying to get ideas like, okay, do I want an outline? Do I want to use the leaves in my project? And then this was left over, and I was like, well, yes, I love that. And trying to see, okay, do I want color for leaves? What do I want? All the different experiments happening in this place is crazy. And I probably will do a few more prints, just like some lettering or some words like autumn or something like that. I think I would like to include in my project. And this is going to be a fall piece, feeling fall. However, it's going to be somewhat abstract. At least that's my plan. And like I said, I'm still exploring my possibilities. I want to do a couple more things with some soft pastels before I commit to anything, because I have some questions and I want to follow that curiosity before I get here. And then I'm going to take these and I want you to watch my audition process of finding things like, I'll cut these out so that they're, just the piece, and auditioning them like, okay, well, does it work here? Or does it work here? Because that's the part that you don't typically see, is me figuring out my plan. And the only way that I can do that is by trying and doing collage papers this way. And that's why I really wanted to kind of do some papers, is because collage papers is risk-free. I can cut out pieces and plop them down in a certain spot and say, does that work? Does it look good? And add papers within it, and then I can find a composition. But I have to start somewhere, and so that is what I have done. So it'll be pretty abstract and kind of blocked is what I'm envisioning. I probably will use I'll put some papers down, just some, vintage papers in the background. And I haven't found the ones that I want yet, but I will after I, film this. But I'm going to use, I think, my 5x7 plate and do a couple of block out areas with my gel plate, just because I've got that feel already in my papers. And so, but we'll see, I can try it, and if it doesn't work, then I can paint it in heavier or cover it up with paper. There's no fear. We have to get over the fear of messing something up, because it can all be redone. all be redone. And we're not wasting material because we are investing in ourselves. Okay, so that I will be using, I told you my colors, raw umber, black, and white, gessos probably, matte medium to put my papers down, my color palette, prism violet, raw umber, burnt sienna, olive green, raw sienna, and then my neutral colors is what I'm envisioning at this point. Maybe, oh, and probably a little teal, sneak in a little teal in there, kind of dirtied down. And that is it. Okay, so that is the adventure that I have been on, and I want you to go on the same adventure. I want you to get into your space, whatever it is, and I know sometimes we don't have a lot of time or we don't have a lot of space, and even if you don't have all of the materials, do something that is close enough. So maybe you don't have a gel plate. I did some right onto my table, onto my silicone mat. Explore options. We have to let go of the fear to find our inspiration. And when we're frozen in fear, nothing happens. And so many people say to me, I'm so afraid of messing it up. What will happen if you do? Honestly, nothing is harmed. This piece of wood right here, if I get done with it and it doesn't look good, I will remake it. I have a stack of pieces that I'm going to be redoing in a series to show you that it's all okay. And if you feel like I'm wasting material, get cheaper material. Get craft paints. I have a whole row of them back here. And go that route so that you start creating. You have to show up to find your inspiration, to find your style, to find your joy, to find, even if, because I get the question too that, I don't want to do it just like you, but I don't know how to make it my own. This is how you make it your own. You try. You try things differently. You try different colors. You try different papers. You try different whatever, tools. But you have to try. So that's what I'm doing today. I am trying all kinds of things. And where this goes, I have no idea. But it'll all work out. And the best thing about it is that I will have learned something new. Okay, my loves. I'm going to finish creating here. Don't forget, fall stencil sale and 2 new stencils in the shop. Discount code down below in the YouTube description box. All right, my loves. Please, please play. Have a wonderful and restful and peaceful Sunday. And I hope that you always, always know that you are loved.